Hello and welcome back to Walk the Cinema podcast, where we walk the cinema so we can talk the cinema. Today's episode, we are watching the new Netflix original movie directed by Zack Snyder, Army of the Dead.
Yeah, I would just like to say I have nothing to do with this choice, and you picked it.
I did pick it because I thought it would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
I mean, we'll get to that. So it kind of starts out
But give
unintelligible.
us a brief synopsis, though, just so
Yeah,
we have.
so basically, it's kind of like a zombie apocalypse type thing where the military is transporting this asset of some sort and it happens to be a zombie and it gets out and it infects Los Angeles and they're able to or Las Vegas and they're able to contain it. Um, but like Las Vegas is pretty much completely overrun by zombies, so they're planning on nuking it, but before they nuke it, there's this mob boss guy, I guess, that wants a crew to go in and steal a whole bunch of money that he already was insured for. So it
Mhm.
kind of turns into like a heist movie
Yeah, I
with the
think
backdrop.
the preset of what they were trying to sell is a heist movie with the backdrop of the zombie apocalypse, which sounds really good, or like it could be really good. But
Yeah,
then,
but I thought it would be kind of funny to watch this because we already have a movie kind of with this exact plot. We own it, we
mhm.
haven't seen it. I don't remember the name of it because it's at our apartment, which we're not
I
at
don't
right
know.
now.
It's some Dollar Tree DVD that has like less than 500 ratings on IMDb or Letterboxd or something like that.
Yeah, so it has the same
Nothing
general
real though.
plot, at least on the surface, so I thought it'd be kind of interesting to watch Schneider's version of it and then watch the Dollar Tree version of it later,
Yeah,
but
but since it
anyway.
was Jaddy that directed this, of course it's super overbloated. And it's 2.5 hours.
Mhm,
It's two
and
and a half hours. Period. Like when it reaches the end, there's no credits. It just keeps going.
yeah, and I feel like the beginning part is so unintelligible.
You talk about like
Like,
the credit montage.
yeah, it's like the credit montage where it's like them trying to get out of the city and saving
Those are the
people and
longest credits of all time.
yeah, and it
That
doesn't
was
none
what,
of it makes
15, 20 minutes?
yeah, none of it made any sense. Like, I don't know who these people are, how they came to be. And then there was like something that was supposed to be emotional, but then I was like, I don't get this. Why I don't understand why I should care.
Yeah,
Is
there was
like
no emotions all the way through. It
there
was just the beginning.
Yeah, but it was like there's that one where it was a woman that was trying to save her daughter and like other people, and
Yeah.
she got attacked by the zombies, and the daughter didn't want to leave her, so they got crushed by the pallets at the beginning that surrounded the city.
The montage was his way of skipping the explaining how they spread and all of that, which I'm kind of
Yeah.
thankful for, because that's another hour that it could have put into the movie just explaining how it spread.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess so, but I also was kind of like, I don't understand why you have these emotional stuff scenes when like I don't care yet.
Hmm.
There hasn't been anything that's happened really. And then another thing was there were several scenes, especially in the beginning, that were completely out of focus.
There was those throughout, though.
I don't know, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the
No,
stylistic
but
choice.
but they were
I
all
don't know if it was
throughout. I
I
think
don't
when
know if
we
it was
first see Queen, the zombie Queen,
mhm.
when she backs away, they don't fade away or anything. They just blur out. They open the lens so it's blurry, and it
Mhm.
looks awful. Like I don't get what the point of it was supposed to be.
Mhm.
Because she's still in frame, but now she's blurry. I don't get why you could have just cut away from it.
Yeah, I don't really know either, but it's not very good. I thought he had Zack Schneider. He came up with the story. He helped with two other people. I think he wrote the screenplay. Um,
Yeah, and Netflix is really ambitious with this one. They already announced the sequel and a whole animated series before this even came out. So, for better or
yeah,
for worse, it shows their foresight and the pre planning that they're putting into this franchise. I guess it's what it's going to be from now on.
Yeah, and I honestly thought that Zack Snyder kind of had a cool concept in some regards, but then it
Mhm.
kind of just turns into a cliche and
It's
stereotypical.
formulaic all the way through.
Yeah, and
Like
there was
the
like
when the story part starts, like not the introduction, but the main meat of it.
Mhm.
It's just we're just being introduced to people like in a row and why they're doing it, and their motifs are
Yeah.
like really weak. It's like, oh, I'm a bad dad, but I'm gonna make up for it with money. It's
Yeah,
not
or
good.
like his kind of semi-love interest that's like a mechanic, but she, was with
Yeah,
him at the beginning. She's been through like his wife's death and his daughter uh leaving
yeah.
or not wanting to have a relationship with him and that kind of thing.
And you had the safe crack, which was like, oh, I just want to do it for the challenge. And you had the chopper flyer, the pilot. They were just like, money, okay. Like,
It's just like, "Oh, well, I hate my life anyway, so might as well try this."
there's no there's no real nothing to any of them. So I don't know why it took like 50 minutes, an hour to get to the point where we're killing zombies.
Yeah, and then there was I don't know, the I thought that some of the characters were kinda cool, but or at least had interesting concepts, but my main thing that I actually kind of enjoyed were the zombies.
Yeah. Yep.
Like the zombie, the intelligent ones, which is not
The alphas,
nec
yeah.
yeah, they're not necessarily a new concept. I feel like there's a lot of different zombie movies that
Yeah,
have
those are
categories of
the type of
zombies.
zombies that he worked with in his remake of Dawn of the Dead, which is a great movie. Well, it's not great, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And he worked with those type of fast, semi-intelligent zombies.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting that, like, they had like, a hierarchy, I guess, where there
Mhm.
was a queen and there was, like, the king zombie, and, like, I don't know, I don't know if they exist, but I don't think I've ever seen a zombie movie where there's, like, zombie babies that are born, you know?
I don't know. I don't think I've seen a zombie tiger. In The
I'm trying
Walking Dead, you see a tiger, but it's not a zombie. So in
Yeah, and
this
I
one, you
don't
get a zombie tiger. It's pretty cool. It's probably the coolest thing about it. You also see a zombie
yeah,
horse,
I
and
kinda
the zombie
like the
horse
zombie
was really well
creatures.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
the
zombie
creatures are
creatures were well done. The CGI on the tiger wasn't great, but it was
no.
fine.
But it was still, like, kind of a cool concept, I guess,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
see
it
and
was really cool.
visualize.
There was cool things spread through, right? There was the shot of Zeus, which is the alpha zombie. He's the main zombie that bites you and turns you into an alpha. And
Yeah.
there's a shot of him on top of the Statue of Liberty, the one they have in Vegas.
Yeah,
That's
the
a really cool
replica.
shot. And there's a couple cool shots and a couple cool gags, but as a movie, it's just there's not much.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know if Zack Snyder did this on purpose, but I sympathize with the zombies way more than I sympathize with any of the characters.
In the behind the scenes stuff, you do see that he mentioned that, especially for the alpha zombies,
Yeah.
not really the ones dying in the streets because they're too dumb, but
Right.
the ones that are like not really messing with you if you don't mess with them. It's
Mhm.
like, why would you poke the beehive? And the
Right.
answer to that is plot armor, and it's to move the movie forward. Because it's a
Yeah,
heist
which
movie, but it's not a heist movie. Let's be honest.
yeah, I felt
It
like
doesn't
it
do anything as a heist movie because it doesn't even end with a heist. It goes on for another 45 minutes.
yeah, and it doesn't like I don't know, none of the characters felt like they did anything beyond be who they were. I don't know. Like, there wasn't any growth or anything, I guess. Like, you have the daughter that I guess like, the main character's daughter, Kate, who I absolutely hate. I hate that character so much.
But
Um
that's the problem with directors tackling this type of ensemble project, where there's a big group of heroes or so-called
mhm.
heroes, where they kind of forget or they don't know how to make them likable. Like they don't give us a reason to care if she dies or not. She's
Yeah,
just the daughter
exactly.
of someone, and I don't care if she's the daughter of someone.
But I feel like also her motives for everything are just so stupid. She's so rash. Like she kind of almost with her at the beginning when she's talking to her friend with the two kids that's desperate to try and rob one of the casinos to be able to provide for her kids to get out of the safe zone or the quarantine zone.
Mhm.
Like she backtalks one of the guards there, you know what I mean? And it's not like it's her that she solely put herself in danger, she put her friend also in danger, and then, she decides to put herself and everybody else at danger to go find that friend when she goes missing. Even when they're like, "We have 9 minutes to leave before the city gets nuked and we all die," and she's like, "Well, still gotta go find my friend."
Yeah,
And then in the end, it doesn't even matter because the friend died, and literally, Kate is the only character that survived that ordeal. The only character.
yeah, which I guess it's fine because we don't care about him anyways.
True,
Like,
but
did you actually care if any of them survived?
not particularly, but I felt
They
like
didn't give you a good reason.
out of all the characters, including the zombies, I was like, I kinda want the zombies to live. Like, I was kinda sad
Yeah, I
when
was sad for Zeus when Quane's head splattered. That was
yeah,
the only time I was like,
exactly.
"Ah, dang, that sucks." But
I was also kinda sad when he, like, had to pull out his little baby and it wasn't alive anymore. Like, it's sad. I don't know. It's
yeah,
kind of
it's just, but it's so bland. Like the characters all feel bland. I think people, or at least maybe the people that worked in it, say that it's a very stylish movie, and I really disagree. The only way for me to tell it's a Zack Snyder movie, it's the outfits, because everyone is going into a zombie apocalypse wearing tank tops. It's just ridiculous.
right, and there was some of the things that I didn't like about what he did was there were these quote unquote girl boss characters, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where they're like these powerful women that don't take any crap and whatever. And he kind of had
you don't
a
like
what
Mary Sue?
the woman no, it's not necessarily that. It's the fact that he totes that around and then immediately uses one of these characters that's supposed to be a badass, right? And it just uses her character as a plot device to make the main character, the man, go like beast mode and like kill a whole
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah.
zombies because she
She just
died. Like,
dies. She just dies. Like there's no. I guess it's supposed to be shocking that she just dies without like any warning or anything, but it's not. Like I
yeah,
don't
and
care. Again, I don't care that she died
it doesn't
because
make
they
any
they just
sense.
revealed their motives. Like what, 2 minutes before that, she was like, "Oh, I kind of thought we could get back together," and then she dies. Like that's not really.
Yeah, exactly. That was my whole thing. I was like, they don't really make mention of like a romance much before that point where she's like, "Oh, I thought we could end up being together." And she's like, "It's not like I was waiting for you, but I kind of thought that maybe one day we would be together." And he's like, "Yeah, no, that makes sense. We should totally do that." And then she immediately dies. So it does kind of seem like he was like, "Oh, here's a character that's girl boss and and like a feminist icon, and then we're just going to kill her because, it'll make the guy sad and go
Yeah,
crazy, you know?"
it's a problem with the movie where I don't know why he bothered with emotions because at a certain point you clearly like there's no emotion in it. So all you could ask for is like fun action
Mhm.
movie, and it
Yeah.
wasn't even that fun.
There was moments in it where you mentioned that you kinda liked the gore aspect of it, and I kind of agree. It's
Yeah, I
the
like the gore, but
visual
it's still underwhelming overall. But
yeah.
I like the gore because you're going into a zombie movie that's a stupid heist movie because no one is
Yeah.
saying this is like a high concept. So let's be real, it is silly. So obviously, I expect silly deaths and a lot of gore, and it started delivering towards the end, I guess.
Yeah, it just didn't there was nothing that I felt like was super intriguing about it besides general concepts, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where
and
it's kind of like it's another one of those things where it's like I'm mad that the person that came up with the idea is the person that came up with the idea.
hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of
But
like,
did it come up with it though? Because we have a DVD that says otherwise.
yeah, I know, I gotta do some research to see which who came up with what. Because I think that this was in development, like, purgatory for a while.
Mm.
right? Where he had been working on this since the early two or the mid
It
2000s,
was it
right?
was during Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
During Dawn of the Dead, he started thinking about making another zombie.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe he had a partner that was working on it with him and then they kind of
Hmm.
branched off and the other guy got to it better or faster. But
Okay,
I
but
haven't seen it.
to breach back, yeah, I think you're right. Like, there's about halfway through, I was just going with the motions at that point because clearly there was nothing there. So I was just kind of numb to everything happening. Even when they announced the bomb is going to be in the next couple of minutes or an hour, when they
Yeah, it
opened
was
the vault, I felt absolutely nothing
yeah, it's
because
kind of
I
like of
know the
course it
vault
is.
is not the ending of it. Of course, it's going to get to the vault and then you're going to get attacked by zombies. Of course.
Yeah.
Even like the corporate betrayal. I guess they're not corporate, but the guy that works for the guy that comes up with the money, Tanaka, the
Mhm.
corporate betrayal thing twist. That was so obvious since the moment that they're introducing him as someone that must go with the group.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's some alternative motive.
Yeah, but his
And
kill was cool, so I guess it was worth that he was
yeah,
there because he dies in a pretty
that
cool way.
yeah,
I've
I
never
was I
seen
was like
a zombie tiger rip someone's head in half. That was pretty cool.
yeah, I was like cheering his demise because it was like so cool and he's the reason why the plan went so bad anyway. But kind of another thing I wanted to mention before, we wrap this up. There's a lot of lines that were just absolutely awful. And I don't know if they were self-aware or if Zack Schneider thought he was being clever or I don't know, because
I know
there
what
was
you mean because I cringed a couple times.
yeah, like when Tanaka, the boss guy, was like easy peasy Japanesey.
Hey, you can't say that.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a modern podcast. You don't
And
say
then
that
and
here.
and another character was like, "Oh, you can't say that." And then another one was like, "Well, if he's Japanesey, he can."
I
And it's
think all the attempts at humor were tremendous failures.
yeah, it just it didn't make me laugh. It made me cringe more than anything. And I don't know if it was purposeful or if that was
No. Why would he want to make you cringe? Come on.
I don't know. I
He
don't
takes
know. It just
himself very seriously. I don't think in this movie in particular he took himself extremely seriously, but he's still
Mhm.
serious enough to know that he wouldn't make a joke like that in a self-aware note.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It was definitely some of the stuff was just not what I was expecting in terms of dialogue, I guess. It's just odd sometimes.
It didn't need dialogue because
It
the
didn't
good points in
though.
it was the gore, right? And it was the fight choreography, especially for the bigger scenes in the end, was good. So
Yeah.
that's where it was shining is when they shut up and just killed zombies.
Yeah, and I mean, it's got all I could think about during that beginning part where they're like gathering the crew was that Rick and Morty episode about heists.
Yeah. So like Zach just went to the movie school of heist movies and copied all the basics.
Yeah. It's like, are you in? Yeah, I'm in. We're brothers.
Money, please. But yeah, what
Yeah.
should I think of the zombie look? Because I think the patented Schneider slow motion didn't help the zombie look, especially for the shamblers, which is what they call the slow zombies.
Mhm.
Those did not look particularly good to me.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't think that any of them really looked particularly good. I just kind of liked the concepts. Like, yes, I love the idea of like a king and queen zombie that are like
Yeah,
able
those
to
looked
turn.
fine, but especially the queen had a lot of prosthetics. You could tell.
Yeah.
So it had to look a little bit better. But the ones that had zero prosthetics and it was all makeup, it kind of looked like those people on TikTok that do storytelling while they paint their faces.
Mm-hmm.
They just paint their faces green and put a couple brown spots in it and dilate the eyes, and That's a zombie now.
Yeah, called it a day.
So underwhelming. Uh, but I'm still very protective of my Jadi. So I gave it a very high 4 out of 10. I wanted to give it a 3 because it was bad and long. So
It
those are
was.
two sins.
Right. I also
But
gave
I wasn't too affected by the length. Sorry, I cut you off there. Go ahead.
it's okay. I also gave it a 4 out of 10, and I just wanted to point out that I had watched before this movie um the Barbie Fairytopia trilogy. And honestly,
Essential viewing.
it the Barbie movies were kind of better as a series than this one movie, you
Yeah,
know?
if we get enough comments telling us to make the trilogy episode, we'll do it. Do the Barbie Fairytopia trilogy if the people are behind it.
Yeah, you haven't seen those ones, so
Oh, not those ones.
yeah, you've seen a couple. Well,
No, I've
one.
seen one because someone forced me to twice to watch the same Barbie movie. It wasn't you. It
To be fair, it wasn't me. Yeah, exactly.
was someone worse than you.
Mm. But yes,
Yeah. Yes.
and that's all we have for this episode.
Yeah, I think that's
Definitely
quite
let us
enough.
know what your thoughts on this movie were, if you've seen it, if you have any.
I think even if you've seen it, you might not have any.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, follow, whatever it's possible for you to support us in your platform. It's free and we appreciate you. Thank you for listening.
See you next time.